What's going on, guys? World of YouTube, people, faces, not faces, microphone. All right, let's talk about something. Let's talk about this. This is your warning. Get Good is not a series about how to become a god at Apex Legends, about how to become a god at any game. This is literally showing you the dedication it takes to get good at a particular game. Apex Legends is up first, and in this episode, we are going to discover how to get good with the L-Star. Now, the first thing we're going to work on is recoil control. So you're going to see me here at a wall, and I'm just going to go ahead and fire the gun, not controlling the recoil at all, not trying to aim at all, just to get a feel for the recoil pattern. Then you're going to see me take the gun, ADS, and try to start controlling that recoil. The goal here is to get as tight of a grouping on all of my shots as I can, because doing this now is going to help me later on when I'm looking at targets at further distances. Now, at further distances, that recoil spread is still going to be really, really hard to control. By starting at a closer range and getting that recoil grouping very tight. When I move to medium range targets, I can keep that recoil tight, maybe a little bit looser, and longer ranges is going to be even looser than that. But it's focusing on first short range recoil control. Then I'm going to move to middle range recoil control, then to longer range recoil control. Now you see me here practicing going more like short medium range, I guess you could call that. It's not really mid range, but it's not exactly short range either. It's somewhere in bridging the gap in between a shorter range and a medium range. And I'm going to just sit here and try to hit as many bullets as I can on that target. Now, those targets are a lot larger than an actual character's hitbox, but it's starting to narrow in. You want to start at the most general, the furthest out that I can, the most general, and then finite it in. This is me running up to find out what a full clip actually burns for damage. I believe it's 414, if I'm not mistaken, before the overheat. Now, you can always let go of the trigger with the L-Star and reduce the overheating, stop the overheating, preventing you from having to pull that coil out and go through essentially a reload animation. Here I'm going to a little more medium range. I've got a 2 to 4 times ACOG scope on it, and I'm going to just zoom in and see how I do in mid-range. Try to get that recoil control, trying to hit it close to a 400, which is a full clip, as close to a full clip as I can on it. And you're going to see this is early practice, so I'm not going to be the greatest. I'm going to be missing, and I'm going to be working on tightening up that recoil pattern. I spend about almost 3 hours with this gun in firing range and just checking, okay, can I hit 100 on a far back one, which I did. I hit 108 there. That's way further than you should ever be using the L-Star to hit anyways. This is a more between long medium and I would say up close gun, depending on if you hip fire or not. And then that's getting recoil control with hip fire, because your ADS sensitivity will most likely be different than your hip fire sensitivity. Most people play 1 down. So if you play like a 6 hip fire sensitivity, you're playing a 5. I am playing currently on 5.4, but please, I cannot stress this enough. Do not try to find somebody on YouTube or Twitch or whatever that is really good at this game and copy their settings, because it's not going to make you good. What you need to do is you need to decide, I'll tell you right now, this is how you pick what your settings should be. First of all, you need to figure out what your playstyle is going to be. Do you want to be a sniper? Do you want to sit back and play support? Do you want to just poke shots? Are you aggressive? Are you constantly in people's faces? Are you wanting to move around the map very fast? Are you wanting to be somewhere in between? Because that's all going to control what your sensitivity should be. Because if you're constantly flying around, you want to be in people's faces, you want to be tracking, you want to be doing good, then you want your sensitivity higher. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in, you're going to set your FOV. I would recommend between 100 and 110. Some people will tell you go straight 110. Some people will tell you anything over, I think 106 is too high and it causes your console to lag. I've been playing 110 for a long time. That's just how I am. I'm a fast, aggressive person. I played 6.5 for a long time, and I'm actually down to 5.4 right now. But so what you're going to do is you're going to set that FOV where you want it. Do not touch it after you set it there. Then you're going to go in and you're going to pick your sensitivity. Do you want to fast? Do you want to be moving fast? Do you want to spin around and snap on people? Or are you trying to like focus more on lasering people? And then you're going to set that sensitivity and leave it. Come into the firing range if you need to, or just drop into 100,000 games, and you're going to get good at that sensitivity. That is the easiest and best way that you will ever be able to get good at a game. Don't try to copy other people's sensitivity. Chances are it's too high to what you're used to, or it may be too low compared to what you're used to. And you're going to go in and you're going to miss everywhere, and you're going to think, oh, well, I just suck. No, you just need to dedicate to whatever sensitivity you're on and stick to it. Here, I'm just snapping to all the different targets and trying to fry them. I can't remember if I was trying to hit 200 clips on these. And again, you'll see me using the 1x hollow. I suck with this sight, so that's why I am forcing myself to use it. And I'm trying to hit over 100, it looks like. If not, I start back at the end. Hit 100, move to the next one, 100, move to the next one, 100, move to the next one. That's what I'm doing here. And then I realized it's just too far away for that sight for me. So I switched to the 1 to 2 time. Oh no, that's the 2 to 4 times variable 8 hollow. And then I'm sitting here and trying to fry. But the thing with this one was I didn't realize it at first, but I needed to work more on burst fire control with this gun, where I need to keep an eye on that heat meter. It's actually not, now that I'm looking at the gameplay, it's actually not on this site, but almost every other site that you have has some type of visual indicator on how close you are to overheating the gun. Like if you watch here, you see a blue, and then it'll turn to yellow, orange, and then up into a red. And then when it's at red, you'll start to hear the gun go beep, 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 and that means it's about to overheat. And you need to ease off that trigger, or you're gonna have to go through this coil change animation. I was forcing myself to overheat a lot here because I was trying so hard to hit the 100, and if I didn't hit 100, I couldn't move to the next target. So I would try to force it in, and then I was overheating the gun and having to go through that entire animation again, which is not, in this game, is not the best practice. If you don't have to reload, you don't want to. If you don't have to go through that animation, you don't want to, because as soon as you start frying somebody, 16 other people are gonna fucking hear you and come flying in to third party you. Here I'm working a little bit on hip fire spread. Now my goal was to hit, I was trying to hit 300 clips with this, but it's actually really hard, especially when you're used to aiming a gun down sights. Like I don't hip fire a lot, and that's something I'm trying to force myself more into doing, is hip fire. So I'm not used to having to control a sensitivity on 5. I'm used to controlling it on 1 notch down because I ADS, and when you ADS, your sensitivity drops. So I'm trying to force myself here to get good at that. I hit a 324 there. That was actually really good for me. The most you can hit is 414. Here we're going to move over to tracking. So tracking means following a target while ADSing or hip firing, either way, and trying to hit as much damage as I possibly can. I start out as a potato. I hit like 54, I think, and then maybe 100 or something, and a 72. I see a 216. I track a little differently than a lot of people do, and I don't know if there's a YouTube video that talks about tracking in this game or tells you how you should track in this game, but I will tell you this, and this is a nice little nugget of helpful advice. You can track a lot better if you don't rely solely on aim tracking. If you strafe track, you'll actually be a lot more accurate. As you can see, I kind of was starting to get the feel for tracking here, and now I'm, almost a 200 there. But you'll see my character, I'm strafe tracking, so I'm walking as well as trying to ease the right thumbstick a little bit just to keep correcting. I want to use my right thumbstick more as making sure that if they start moving faster, I can track faster, but more so recoil control and allowing my legs to do the tracking. That was a 378 right there. It's super, super helpful, especially if you're somebody that plays sniper a lot. I like to play sniper a lot. For me, when you're sniping, especially when you start zooming further and further in on a lot of the sniper scopes, it moves so slow when you're trying to track somebody who's running and sliding and jumping across. So by moving and trying, I just hit a 414 there. All right, here we're going to be working on a little bit of snapping. So just to finish off that last part while I'm warming up on snapping, I'm going to snap to that target, hit 200 damage, snap to that other target, hit 200, snap back, and then snap up. But just to finish off my last point on that tracking, use strafe tracking. It works. Trust me. Trust the process. Practice it. Come in here, come in firing range and practice it. I swear to God, it helps so much. So here, what I'm basically doing is I'm trying to work on snapping right, snapping left, and frying. So you don't want to just be able to snap to somebody, hit a shot, and, you know, hit one bullet. Now, if you're a sniper, that's a good thing. You know, you're good. But with an assault rifle, not so much. Getting crazy with it. So this is a little title I like to call Getting Crazy with It, because this is where you start to mix it up. After you feel like you've been comfortable, I've been in this about an hour and 45 minutes now. You want to start to get a little crazy with what you're doing. You don't want to be predictable anymore. You want to kind of jump around and slide and hop and straight and twist and grapple and slide into somebody and try to hip fire. There I was potato. But that just shows the power of this gun. I potato missed like half that clip and still fried the guy afterwards. So don't always think, I tend to do this a lot. Don't panic when you miss your first few shots. It sucks, but focus up, hit the control, hit your control, and hit the rest of those shots, and you can fry somebody. One of the things that I actually do here with getting crazy, when I'm getting crazy with it, is I actually go down to the end here and I set up a zip line all the way down, and I never fully completed this part of the training. I just couldn't. I don't know if it was some kind of issue with the timing of the bullets firing or something, but so I'm gonna zip line down and hit every single one of those standing targets there, or at least try to, while hip firing. Okay, I'm not ADSing at all, and I'm gonna try to hit every single one of them and knock them all down. And no matter how many times I did this, I literally did this training here for 45 minutes. I spent 45 minutes going back and forth, firing off as many bullets as I could to try and knock all of these down, and I couldn't do it. So I challenge you, if you guys think you can do it, you think you can do better, maybe you're God with the L-Star, maybe that's your weapon, and you can, leave me a comment below telling me that you've done it. Prove it. Tell me that you've done it, and I believe you. Show me some proof. Make a clip. Show it to me, because this is fucking hard. Like I said, 45 minutes I went back and forth trying to hip fire while ziplining and hit every single target. The closest I got, I missed one target. That was the closest I could get out of the 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, I believe. I believe there's 5 sets of them, so that's 15. Yeah, look at that beautiful aim drift. I actually have to clean my controller because it's got real bad aim drift. Out of the 15 targets, I was able to hit 14 of them, and that was the closest I could get to doing all of them. Here I'm actually just trying to clean up. I have an air duster, so with the Scuff Prestige you can pop the faceplate off, pop the thumbstick right out, and so I popped it out and I blasted it with the air duster real quick, just to see if I could get rid of some of that aim drift. I'm looking for any excuse right there for why I'm bad. I was potato aiming. I couldn't hit that last target, whatever the reason being. I couldn't do it. So I was trying to figure out the timing in between the cooldown, because you have to release the trigger at some point to cool the gun, or else you won't be able to hit all the targets too in one zip. So I was trying to figure out kind of the timing pattern there for letting it cool down and then still being able to fire by the time the next set comes up. And then I just sprayed. I was getting rage induced. I'm not gonna lie, this shit gets frustrating, because this is probably about 15-20 minutes into doing this, and you're literally going back. I'm going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I'm trying. There I missed 1, I missed 3, 4. I missed that entire back section too, so I missed a total of 10 there. And then I realized that because I set the zip so weird, I couldn't I didn't have enough time to hit the first 3 going the other way. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to start zipping to the other end and then come back and go. So I did that. And then later on, I set up a second zip that was long enough, far enough back that I could aim at those first 6 and still have a chance to hit them all. So here I just potatoed. I think honestly though, there was some server issue lags with the game. This is me making excuses, but there were I had actually going back through and editing, I had to edit out 4 or 5 times where I fired the gun, the L-Star, and the bullet just kind of froze in midair and floated there for a second and then shot off. I'm sure some of you have had that same problem. There's my friggin' stick drift going off again. I'm sure some of you have had that same problem where it just kind of bullets freeze while you're shooting the L-Star. Then again, maybe you don't. Okay, so see here, I've set up that second zip line. I hit 6. I missed. Oh, I missed those last 4. Oh my god. It is like, I can't explain to you how frustrating this is, because this is probably about half an hour to 45 minutes into doing just this, just going back and forth on these 15-20 targets, trying to hit them all. And this is already after doing like almost an hour, maybe an hour 15 of the other bullet training. So I have literally been sitting in this firing range for almost 2 hours, 2+ hours at this point. And just firing this gun. And the crazy thing is I will tell you from personal experience, this is the 3rd episode I have filmed now. From just those first 3 episodes, I have realized that this does work. I have felt so much more confident with guns that I wanted to pick the worst guns for me in the game to get good with first, because anybody can pick up the R9 and Fry, and anybody can pick up the R301 and the Flatline, and guns that, you know, all the most popular people use, and all of the guns that are like super OP, and you can look good with them. I don't want to look good. I want to get good. So what I've done is I went, okay, P2020, I've rarely used that. Probably 2% of the time that I've ever actually seen a P2020 have I actually picked it up and tried to kill somebody with it and couldn't. Just couldn't. I'd hit enough shots to hurt them a lot or leave them one shot and they would run away. And that gave me enough time to go and loot a different gun. I could not kill with it. Now I feel confident after doing the P2020 training. Even in Mozambique, I feel confident enough that I could pick those guns up and fry somebody with it. Maybe not fry, but kill somebody. I'm not going to destroy an R9 with a P2020. Let's be realistic here. That's not the kind of stuff that those guns were designed for. Those guns are designed for first drop. You can't find any other gun, but you want to start killing people so you can kill them and maybe get their loot. You get up on them with a good third party, or you get somebody just dropped in and you grab the P2020 and the ammo before they can, and they're trying to go run to find another gun. You can pop a couple shots in their back and kill them, or hit them with Mozambique. Or even, God forbid, that you have Mozambique or a P2020 as your secondary and mid to late game, and you have like a hammer point. That gun, those guns with hammer point are amazing. So after I do this, we're coming up on the gauntlet here, and the gauntlet I have explained is loading into the Easter egg with the bots fighting back. And what you do is you set up one shield cell, one med kit, and you go at these bots. Now I do 9 enemies. Killing 9 bots is a wave, and then after each wave you can pop a Phoenix kit to fully revive your shields and your health without wasting your med kit or your shield bat. They don't stack, but every round, if you're out of a shield bat or a med kit, every wave that you complete, I can grab one more bat and one more med kit, totaling 1 in general, because any more than that makes it impossible. Like, it makes it too impossible for the bots to kill you. It makes it too easy. So essentially, this is getting to test out all the aim training that I've done, all the recoil, the tracking, and compile it all into one close to real world scenario without going in and dropping your KD because you're or going in and trying to find that specific gun. This is the whole premise of getting good with every gun, so that whatever I drop, wherever I drop, whatever gun I pick up, and kill with it. And I don't have to worry about dropping a Mozambique out of my inventory because I don't even want to carry that pile of garbage, because I can't call it a pile of garbage anymore. It's still not a top tier gun to me just because of the mag size. And then if you do potato one bullet out of that entire thing, you can't kill somebody. It's impossible. So it makes me feel more confident that if I do it in here, I'm not going to have to spend 30 minutes in a match trying to find an outside. I do it here with bots that they're not the greatest enemies, but sometimes they do get super aggro though. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that graph there. Nailed it. We're resetting the next wave, and I almost die here. I forgot. My butthole was so clenched I could have broke a carrot inside of it. That's how tight that was. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill me, and then did tactical zigzagging a little bit and slid, and they missed the last bullet that they would have needed to kill me. Here I think I actually hip fire killed this guy. Yeah, testing out my hip fire, testing out some of the practices that I've actually forced myself into, just to make sure that like I'm retaining, because the whole point of doing all of this is not to get a warm up. Like, I'm not in firing range for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours warming up. I'm in this to get knowledge and retain, and here you're going to see me be completely potato because I thought that for some reason from that far away I was going to be able to melt that guy, and I didn't. I hit enough shots, and I did end up killing him once I got a little bit closer, but that's that medium long range. Like, it's not quite long range, but it's mid. It's not quite mid either, like you would. It's somewhere in it's the right area, basically, and I hit him. I killed him. So that just proves that this weapon can thump pretty hard. People just don't know how to use it. They haven't gone into firing range and used it, so they just, you know, pick it up. And I don't know how many times I've fought people with this gun that they've had this gun and couldn't kill me with it, because they'd hit me for a couple shots and I'd take a ton of damage, and then they would miss every other shot, spraying it everywhere. Here's me trying again with the long range just to see if I could do it, and I got him down pretty far. I mean, I got him to like half health. And then I was like, I'm not going to be able to hit him. So I waited. I hit the reload, I hit the cooldown, whatever you want to call it. And then I waited. Getting ready for this next round of the wave to restart. And I'm going to fry this guy. That's disgusting. How easy this gun is to melt people with. And that's my worst sight, guys. That hollow sight is my worst sight. I will admit it. I admit when I suck, and I suck with that hollow one times. Finishing another wave up, going up to hit that reset button, pop a Phoenix kit real quick, and then we're gonna get back down there into these guys. I'm gonna hit him with the cheeky grapple too. I only had 106 ammo, and again I was having issues with frames dropping, but these guys here, right, so they're over there and I was fighting them, right, and oh, I killed one. So then I go to push this other guy, and you're not going to get to see it because I had to cut it out, edit it out because of the frames. I'm pushing this guy. You're going to watch my ammo. Maybe you'll see me get to 0. No. And then I reset. So I literally walked up to him with 0 ammo and was like, why am I not killing him? And then I was like, oh, I don't have ammo. Crap. And he almost killed me, and I had to reset. So here we're resetting a wave. Getting that armor swap, trying to get a Phoenix kit, and I realized I picked up an alt accelerant. And so I'm like, oh no, drop it real quick before they spawn and fry me. Get up here and pop this Phoenix kit. And then we hit that sick grapple, showing off a little bit of the movement skills we got. I should have hit the crouch, but I hit at a bad angle. Look at that. I almost fried 2 guys with that one gun. Like, that is ridiculous. That was 1 3/4 guy. So he was literally like a quarter health left. And I fried the other guy. So one full person knocked, like say you're pushing a duos or in trios, that's 2 people out of 3. I knocked one, cracked the other one, and had him down to a quarter health. These freaking out. They're probably calling for their teammate, help, enemy. Their teammate's trying to fly over, or if it's duos, your duo can come up, or you have enough time to swap, and then you've got those 2 kills easy right there, boom, like that, nothing. They're like, it's not even a challenge. It's disgusting. Seeing how strong these weapons are and seeing what Respawn has to deal with trying to tune them, and hearing people say, oh, don't touch that gun because it's trash, or oh, you should never touch. Like, look at this. That's disgusting. The range on that I took that guy out, then I hit him with the old 720 graph there, and waiting to finish up this last wave, or this last round in this wave. And I believe this is actually the last wave that I did. I run 10 waves, so I run until I die, or I run 10 waves, which is 90-ish enemies, I want to say. And this one, I think I ended up doing like 5 or 6 waves because it was just really easy. And then we're gonna celebrate here with a sick grab. Check this sick grab out. Look at that. Look at that distance. Look at that height. And we hit the zip. What? So at the end here, I'm going to show you guys the statistics for the training that I did. I did a full 17,280 bullets fired, 2 hours 75, 36 bots killed, and I died twice in total. So that includes everything. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.